I always see the Kirkland brand, but I would wonder what it is. Is that Costco's brand?
On any Costco aisle, next to a name brand item, is often one with a slightly lower price tag. And
I mean, when you're buying when I'm buying anything, I'll always think about the name brand versus the non-name brand. And if you know what you're buying, you can get the non-name brand, and it's more often than not the same exact thing coming from the same place, just in a different packaging. Just doesn't have the name brand on it. Or it's like pretty freaking close. There are times when I'm really if I'm really that broke, like if it's that bad and I want soda, you can get you can get the store brand soda. It's not that bad. But you have to get the right brand. Like there's a Stop and Shop near me, and I think that's a pretty good name brand soda.
And the label, Kirkland Signature.
In the industry, Kirkland Signature is seen as...
I think Walmart's name brand soda is okay, but it's not that great.
Really a shining example of what a retailer can do with its house brand.
Today, the Kirkland brand accounts for around 1/3 of the company's sales. But the decision to create just one private label 30 years ago was risky, especially in a world where the most successful ones were divided up by product type.
We were kind of flying right in the face of that success story.
Here's the case study on how Costco went against industry standards. And
uniformity makes sense.
A negotiation tool that would forever change big box retail. When Costco first started in 1983, the premise was to carry a limited number of name brands in each product category, but sell
what is going on.
One of the significant disciplines of our business is the limited selection.
We weren't going to carry all the SKUs the other retailers carried. We were only going to carry the highest quality goods.
4,000 items as opposed to 140,000 items.
Yeah, so if you specialize in making a good product for a good price, that's it. That's all people want.
It's presented pretty big. Hits you right in the face whenever you walk in there.
But just a few years into this, data showed that the price of these name brand items were going up, even while the cost for brands to make them were going down.
Every year they had to raise their price to continue to satisfy Wall Street.
But Costco co-founder Jim Sinegal saw an opportunity.
We were seeing articles being written about what was happening with private label.
This 1991 Forbes article in particular outlined how consumers in Europe were turning away from name brand items and instead buying products manufactured by stores directly, known as private labels.
He wrote a whole bunch of his observations on this article and then asked all of his executives to kind of initial it, to acknowledge they had read it. It's this moment where you can see his wheels turning about, look, their price increases are our opportunity.
That opportunity came down to profit margins. While retailers typically mark up name brand items anywhere from 24 to 30%, Costco had a strict maximum markup of 14%. But with a private label, Costco could now control more of the manufacturing costs for a lower starting price. So,
we allowed it, private label, to take one more percentage point higher in a markup.
The private labels quickly started piling up.
We had Chelsea toilet paper,
Cloud detergent,
Traditions, Pinnacle.
We were just making up names as we went along.
But then something happened that would change everything.
And I was in one of our warehouses down in Los Angeles, and I asked the warehouse manager, did you get the new legal tablet that we had in private label? And he said, no, I don't think so. So we went to this section and we had it under the Pinnacle name. So I showed it to the manager. I said, well, here it is right here. He said, I didn't know that was our label. And it was like a bell. Hell, if we don't understand within the organization.
That's why branding is so important. They themselves didn't even know what their own in-house product was because they had 30 different labels.
What we're doing with our label. How are the customers going to? We decided we need to get one name.
Consolidating all of these labels under one brand would go against every proven best practice.
They're ahead of the game.
Retailers tend to not use
I don't know why they weren't doing, other retailers weren't doing that in the past.
If you have a bad experience with one item, it might translate across the whole store.
if they don't trust the brand
I could see that.
in the golf ball, they don't trust the mixed nuts.
You look at Sears, which was a successful retailer at the time, they had multiple brands that were their store brands in different categories.
You can't argue with the success that Sears had, but that one warehouse.
Wait, Craftsman tools are okay. They're not bad.
Was an illustration of where you could go wrong in something like that.
And then the question was, what would that name be?
We thought Costco was not the right name to put on it because we did so much business with other people, and we decided on Kirkland name.
At the time, the headquarters were in Kirkland, Washington.
And then we promptly moved the home office to Issaquah. Nobody could spell Issaquah anyway, so we'll just keep Kirkland. And we've used that same label ever since.
Over the next few years, Costco slowly rolled out the Kirkland name.
I do remember when Kirkland Signature shampoo came out.
It was the first hair care that we did. And then we had some vitamins that came out shortly after that.
Today, Kirkland has over 350 products across a variety of categories. But the company still operates with a limited selection in each of these, what the industry calls a limited SKU environment.
I think the limited SKU environment is a very misunderstood or understood secret of a lot of things about Costco, including private label.
When a new Kirkland item hits the shelf, that category becomes even more competitive.
If you're a supplier at Costco, it's kind of existential. It could reduce your sales. It could kick you off the slot entirely. So it's a real moment of head-on competition for a supplier.
It's an $80 billion brand, so it drives a lot of sales. Nobody wants to be that dramatically higher priced than them.
I see it as a tremendous negotiation tool.
One of the clearest examples of this leverage is Kirkland diapers.
Costco knew that they wanted to have a Kirkland version of a diaper.
But because of its limited SKU environment,
We weren't going to carry both Huggies and Pampers. We were going to carry one brand and a Kirkland Signature.
to see who might make the Kirkland diapers, Costco
Makes
approached
sense.
two market leaders, Procter & Gamble of Pampers and Kimberly-Clark of Huggies.
There was a series of negotiations. Kimberly-Clark agreed.
And although Costco says Kirkland manufacturing negotiations are separate from conversations about shelf space,
There's always been only Huggies diapers and Kirkland diapers on Costco shelves for many, many years.
It was decided on the basis of who came in and presented the best.
And they give them a good deal on the manufacturing. And then what was it, they landed with Huggies? Huggies don't really care. It's the same shit. Like I was saying before. Same thing.
Best deal for the diapers.
even after a product is established, Costco buyers continue to monitor that category.
Our buyers are very aware of the commodity inputs, the raw ingredients that go into something. They know everything.
And this knowledge can lead the company to change its Kirkland vendors. Recently, Costco shifted to the Cuties manufacturer, First Quality.
We felt like we could produce a higher quality product at a lower price for our members.
Having not that many products on shelves compared to other retailers is a huge benefit with Kirkland because they can be very strategic about the fact that there's only a few slots. It allows them to dictate what they want for their shoppers.
With Kirkland's name on hundreds of products, these negotiations are happening on almost every aisle of the warehouse.
When I look back at that Forbes article, one thing that really struck me is, wow, brands really had a chance to not charge more than they needed to give retailers kind of an in to create these really successful private label products. But that's ancient history. It's too late now. Consumers again have really turned to store brands.
While national brands are still a bigger industry than private labels, in 2024, sales for private labels like Kirkland grew about 4 times faster than the national brands.
That's fine.
Hitting a
Let the
record high.
stupid people waste
And
their
with
money
$86
on
billion
national
in
brands
sales
that they don't
last
have
year,
to.
Kirkland is
Certain
now a bigger
things, yeah,
brand
I'll
than
buy the
Procter &
brand name.
Gamble and Kraft Heinz.
Is it the most significant thing for the company? I'd certainly say it's up there with the top 3 or 4.
But analysts say Kirkland's success is hard to replicate.
There's a few retailers that have gone to one private label. Not many, but a direct competitor like Sam's Club. More recently, 2017, they went to Members Mark, which is their private label brand.
I'm guessing they got that from us.
Where
Since
was that?
consolidating, Sam's
I've
Club private
gotten
label sales have nearly
Sam's
doubled.
Club.
And when asked about its strategy shift,
I wanted to find who had the best frozen French fries, and I got frozen fries from every grocery store, every brand, everything you can imagine. And surprisingly, the best ones that I could find were Sam's Club Members Mark. And they were just like you would get at a restaurant.
Sam's Club said in an email to the Wall Street Journal that one reason it simplified its
You like a picture of 'em? Oh, well, they have the waffle fries, which are great. But no, And also the mozzarella sticks are really good as well. It's this freaking big box, dude. This big box, 30 pounds of French fries. Massive box. They're not available right now. I don't know what this box is, probably like $40 or something, but dude, it would last forever. I wish we could see pictures of it. Now, see, like you could see grade A. Does it say? It just says quality on there. I don't know what else it says. These are like good quality. What you might expect at a restaurant. Wish you could see a picture of them.
Products into a single brand was to
Pretty good. Go give them a shot.
reduce confusion for its members. But despite these successes, many big retailers aren't following Costco's lead. Target and Walmart have multiple private label brands.
They have to make that choice themselves. I mean, the choice, we think, in retrospect, was right for us. But it could have been wrong.
I think there's something also specific to like the club channel, like a
I think there could be maybe like Walmart has different levels of things. If you have different levels of stuff, then it could be different brands so that people know what kind of quality is attached to that brand. But now that I think about it, like there's the Walmart on headphones. I saw these at Walmart the other day. And are these like the brand ONN, ONN? Are these? It looks like a Walmart brand. Groove On. I don't know. Oh, they're available here. No. See, because you can't get them on Amazon, you get them at Target? Maybe you can. No, these are on-ear headphones. This is not the ON brand. And if you're getting ON with two N's, it's at Walmart. It's the only place you're finding it. ON are terrible. And then this person says Walmart brand headphones. So ASD. Well, they're owned. ON is Walmart's private label. ASDA is owned by Walmart, so it's like another Walmart. It's like Walmart's brother in another country. I don't know how we got to the headphones, but ON is what they call their electronics. And then they've got Great Value brand, which is their other, this is like food and things like that. But maybe it would make sense if they had one like Costco.
Costco, Sam's Club, you pay a membership fee.
But also Walmart is like a sea of things where you go into Walmart and there's just so much shit that your brain is confused. You don't even know. That's how they get you. And they spread everything so far apart to make you go around the whole store, so that you get disoriented and end up getting more than what you wanted.
It's a little bit of a different environment. You're a little bit more bought in. You've already shown loyalty to what they have to offer in a way that's just a little bit different.
Compared to other mass retailers like Target and Walmart, club channels like Costco and Sam's Club are winning the private label food.
That's why, believe it or not, it sounds stupid, but it might be good to make a list and look at that list and just boom, 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 right from thing to thing. Don't get sidetracked.
In beverage space.
Because that's how they're going to get you.
Year.
We still want to sell name brands. We think that shows value to the membership. So we really use Kirkland Signature strategically to make sure that we're priced correctly on brands and that we're offering a better quality.
And the revenue from Kirkland is set to rise as the company looks to expand its offerings like Kirkland Sushi to its U.S. stores.
I don't want to push our employees or our managers and our buyers to go out and hit quotas about number of Kirkland items I want developed out there. I want them to do it naturally as they go through their categories and look for those opportunities.
We don't need to put our name on a product just to put our name. It's a lot of work.
In fact, every Kirkland product ever made since 1995 has been signed off by the CEO directly.
The final approval on the products would come to me, and I would initial it in green ink. Those were known
This
as
is the CEO. He's like a nice guy.
green ink meetings because they got the green ink to proceed. It was as simple as that.
To this day, Costco still holds green ink meetings for all final approvals, even though that pen color is now retired.
I think I'm probably the only person that writes in green around here.